Hello guys, and today I'll be showing you this one random book I found during the bus station. This is a book of the Public Art Abu Dhabi biennial, made by the Manar Abu Dhabi Art and Public PAAD or Public Art Abu Dhabi. Start. Okay, so we have a picture of the bus station. Here are some other buildings and all the letters. So here are a lot of routes that goes. We start with the Abu Dhabi Public Parks route. It has a very special that it lead from the urban park all the way to the formal park with the trees. Then next we have is the bus station. It's called the Abu Dhabi Bus Terminal Route, which this thing is already not even here actually. Next we have is the downtown Abu Dhabi route. Then we have is the Abu Dhabi downtown route, which it leads from Capital Garden all the way to this part beside my house. Next, then we have is the new very special thing. We also have is the carpet soup route, which starts from the Zayed part, which is the carpet, all the way to Heritage Park. Then we have is the National Theatre route, from the National Theatre to the Umal Emirat Park. And we also have is the Cultural Foundation route, which this is a piece of lake, the main building, and every other places. But it's much more far. But there's also much more farther away from the capital. But because there are also much more in Al Ain, called the Al Ain Oasis route, starts at the Al Jahili Fort all the way up to the Hili Archaeological Park. Then we have is the off route, which is no maps actually because we don't have. So let's go. Okay, we also have some other things, and these are the artists of all the art. So we start with Abdullah Al-Saidi, and he created this one random art called the Naked Sweet Potatoes, located in Lake Park, which are like sit downs. Next, we have is Afra Al-Daheri, which makes this art in the National Theatre, which is called the Deconstructing Collective Exhaustion. Like with these wooden things, designed like random sum. Next, we move on to Al Ain. In the very special park casino, it's like this thing in the Al Ain Oasis, made by Alex Ayed, and it's called it's actually this thing is untitled, made by the Bet Al Hamam the first. Would it's like a beehive or something? Next is the Alia Fraid, beside the Capital Garden. It has the 2.6 art that it's like a building. Next, we move on to Formal Park, which has this very special art called the chalk, with very big pieces of chalk that is big like a giant piece of wheel. But also, these things are actually broken because after they changed this location, because they chalk that because you could still write on it because there's still some pieces of chalk to write on, made by Alra and Katsuda. Then we move on to the Anga Art Collective. And this one art is called the Migration Ganari, which is some like hut. Then we move on to this new art called what is this? This is called the Urban Negotiation with the Las Ocaitas logo, made by Aquarta Expandida. Next one, we move on to the bus terminal, which has the Alma-Ata, a very special rooftop with this kind of like light underneath, which will like go underneath. Next, we move on to Azar Jabber, and also earlier this thing was made by Aziz Al-Khatami. Then we move on to Al Jabber, and this you can find this on Google Maps, which is called the Atar Jabber sculpture, or what's known as the clearing, made with limestone. But because you can find this on Google Maps, it's so easy to find it. It's in Lake Park. Then we have the Aisha Hat here, it's called the Playful Traditions, which is like, it looks like a playground or something because it wants to be like a playground. Then we move on at the Madiyat Zayed Center, beside it, which is made by Aza Al-Kubaisi, called the My Courtyard. It has a garden inside, made with steel. Because you thought this was wood, but it's actually steel. Steel stainless glass foil. Then we move on to another art made by Vic Van de Poel, called The Poem That Jumps the Fence, which is what in the world is this thing bro is creating? Next, we move on to the Carpet Souk, which has this very special art in the ground, which shaped like this, made by Christopher Joshua Benton, called Where Lies My Carpet Is Thy Home, which is still there, which it's like a piece of art. Then we move on to Daniel Buren, called The Unattended Las Fontanes Art. I don't know what's the full name actually. And this is located at the arches of the bus terminal, made by Daniel Buren. 6, 7. Then we move on to Edel Kames, which he created the Cognitive Reorientation Dodge Monaco 1977, which is kind of like a car, like a fountain or something. Then we move on to the bus terminal, which is an art made by Iko Nugruno on the stairs, called These Are Two of Them. The first picture is called Becoming Stone and Blooming, and the other picture is called The Reconstruction Dream. They are beside it on the top of the stairs, which are actually closed, that's why. Next one, this is not even located in a different place. This is made by Emily Jasier, made the Cenotaph, which is not even there because they don't have it. Next, thanks to the Manar Abu Dhabi, they made it the Pearls, made by Farah Al-Qasimi, which is a sand and sound things, called the Homesickness, which is pearls, made by with aluminum speakers because you can hear it on the nighttime. Next, we may go to the Korean ones, and this is the Guboyu band, and they made it 2 arts, and these are the arts: animating the desert and the Abu Dhabi flowers in Heritage Park, to make like a design like a cauliflower or something. Next, we move on to this part, and this art was made by Hashil Al-Lamki, called At the End of the Night. That's like Then we also go to, which is, this thing doesn't exist while we're looking at the Desna Teresa, and it's called, made by Hussein Sharif, called the Iron Figures, made with metal wires. This is kind of like something. Next, we move on to Al Emirat Park, made and an art made by Kabir Munhasti, called an offer from the desert, which is some like speakers that you can hear. I actually just went there, listening to all of it in my head. Next, we move on to the Urban Park, because there's a very special art made of iron steel, which is black, called made by Kader Atia, called the Urban River. The Urban River, because you thought that the Urban River by Kadir Atia was in the ground, but actually this pattern was made with iron stainless steel, which feels like you're in a very advanced art for something in the Urban Park, which is black. Next, we move on to the formal parks, the northern part of the formal park, and it's the Kali Raba art of called Among Trees. And also these things can like spin with itself. Then we move on to Al Ain at Al Jahili Fort, because they built a very special art made by Latifa Syed called the Desert Readings, made like a spiral thing. You can also find that in Google Maps. Then we move on to these two arts in this kind of like park. From the, and here's the names, made by Alaron Abu Hamdan, and these arts are here. The one underneath on the underpass has some art called the Wish Wish, which is like that, and on the surface of it with the like some like symbols from the drums has the conservation flows, you know, those things that would bang. Then we move to Love Na Dito, made called In Search of a Monument, which is some like this art in the Philippines, which is one in the world are these people doing. Next one is Lucia Koch, who made this very special art, ABC, from a different locations, and that's called the deep spaces. You know, the deep spaces, which are these giant scenes of a billboard. Next, we move on to Formal Park again, which has a very, and this is one of my favorite, but why does this thing look like a lasog? And this thing was made by Majid Alsh, and this is called the Buffer, which is some like, what are these kind of branches, or I don't know. You can also find that on a hill. Next, we have Marcia Cantor. And did you know, on the top of a building, there's a giant screen made, and it's called the Aquela Non Capit Muscas, which is a HD video, a film. It only takes 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Next, we have the Mobile Academy Berlin, which is called Market for Useful Knowledge, which is not even there actually, because it's just a fake thing. Next, we move on to this one, the Danat Al Sawani, made by Muhammad Al Ustad, in this kind of like buildings. Next one, we move on to Muhammad Al Hawajiri, because there is like a giant art that is displayed on the top of a building, and this is like a carpet, and it's called Peace Within a Blue Horizon, which is on the top of a building wall to make it like there's something on the very top of that, because you'll not realize that there's going to be an art on that building. Next, we move on to Al Ain, downtown Abu Dhabi, and the Formal Park, which has these arts. In Al Ain, there is an art, and these arts were made by Nassim Kali. And these are the arts, starting with Al Ain, which has this art called You Create What You Will. And in Formal Park is this one, A Place Beyond Belief. And finally, in downtown Abu Dhabi, they have a very special art like this one, which is called The World Within, The World Without, which is something one that I was thinking about. Then in Cornish track, they also have this one, which is I did not know. The Nicholas Lemon art. In every language there is that, or which is studied the Misterella. Because we also have a chord. We also have forgot that there is like a. If we go back. Yep, we also have, and you also forgot this one, which is called the Abu Dhabi Cornish route. Starts right all the way up here to here. Because you guys forgot that one. Let's go back to the page we were at. Alright, here it is. We're already back. So this art is kind of like called said land on it. So now we move on to the next one, which I'm telling you, it's in the Watchtower in Heritage Park, made by Nina Okore. It's called Let's Not Wait to Fill Our Cups with Time, which is something in this castle, and it has those patterns displayed. Next we have is the Cornish, and this is called the Oscar Murillo art, which has the Philippines including it. And this one is called the A1 offering collective messages to our ancestors. Then we go to this one art. It's actually Polish. This one's made by Parwet Asamer. And there's a tent. And there's a statue called the Ari, which is some like bronze thing. And the giant cat tent is called the Tarantrum. Next we move on to Radhika Minji, which made this this kind of like art called Wheat Trapped Us in a Frame in the Earth, Reflections on the Surface, which is kind of like this picture. Next we have this one, which is unknown, and it's made by Rami Kasulu and the Emirati artisans, called the Continentium, which is some kind of like yarn thing. Then we move on to this park, and this has this very special art, which I'm going to just wear it for somehow, made by Rand Abdul Jabbar, and it's called the Crown with mid steel with all those great exfoliate paint. Next one we move on to Rawada Al-Kitbi, made the Al-Guide, which is some copper art on a palm tree design. Then we have Rimini Protocol, which is some like art that you not know, because this one is called the Remote Abu Dhabi in LA. Art when you're just watching it in the sky. Next we move on to this Sami Biology. Make this art called the Combello 504, which is just some like art stuff. Then we have Sinem Nusrat, and created this art in form Lake Park, which is in the water. It's called the Floating Fragments, which is this floating pyramid stuff. Then we move on to, it's made by this thing. Next one is Saika Al-Ketbi. Has this very special art, which is you can like jump on something. So here are the numbers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yep. And it's called Imagine. It's foggy, which just has this very special kind of like sculpture or something. This looks like a graffiti. Looks like a Hello Neighbor thing. Then we have another art made by Satya Bangwala Gama, and it's called Other Maps and Guides, which is some of like this thing. Then we move on to Superflex, and he also made this art called the Interspecies Assembly, which have this very special law on it, made with the very special Borba marble on it, which is in Capitol Garden. And then we move on to the beach and have this very special art made by Tanea Kandiani, which it looks so similar as a croissant, and it's called the nomadic stage. You can find that on Google Maps. Then there's a very special art in Lake Park because you will never know where is this located. Actually, this art was located beside a building, beside this one building that's connecting this piece of art made by Tariq Nelson, and it's called The Nest, where you can find this on a top of a building beside it, which you'll never know. Then we made the UTR studio. Then we have the UTR studio and created this architecture thing called the Shifting Sands. Now it's my favorite one. This thing might look like a gazebo, but it's still an art, and it's made by Wal Al Awar, and this art is called the Barzak. Yeah, the Barzak is the kind of like art that's designed like a nest, but it's actually like a gazebo once you go in, because it's something you would visit until nighttime. Next we move on to this art, and this art is made by Well Shaki, called the Drama 1882. Drama 1882. Next we move on to this one, which I hope you will get rich on this one. And this one's made by Yuka Seong as an art called You Were There Abu Dhabi. Actually, there's two of it. One in Heritage Park in Abu Dhabi, and another one in the Heliological Park in Al Ain. Finally is this one. Finally is this one. This is the last one. The last art made by Zainab Ashimi. But this art was similar to like the taxi stop, and it's called the Equilibrium, which still stands today. And these are all the arts. And thanks to the Public Art Abu Dhabi, the Department of Culture and Tourism, and the Abu Dhabi Culture. Here's some pictures of other arts. And yeah, this is all of it. Thank you for watching. I hope I'll see you in the next video.